Punk Revolution now. Today we're going to be reviewing Flaming Lips, their new album, American Head. What the hell is American Head? Is that something I do? Well, Flaming Lips releasing American Head. Whatever, I don't know. Flaming Lips is one of like the most famous neo-psychedelic bands like ever. They've been around since the 80s. They've been a band for nearly 40 years. They got a huge discography with all sorts of trippy, fun, psychedelic, catchy, but also emotional and dark and beautiful music. It's an interesting discography. So let's go ahead and start by taking a look at the album cover, and we shall learn what American Head is. This album cover screams neo-psychedelia. It gives off a just super trippy vibe with the rainbow eyes. Like, yes, this kid is probably high and he's talking to God right now. He's so freaking high. I feel like I've seen other neo-psychedelia album covers give off a similar vibe. Don't have too much to say about it. It's kind of a generic neo-psychedelia album cover, if I'm being honest. But it certainly screams neo-psychedelia. And so do the song titles, too. Because there's like 3 or 4 song titles here that are like about drug use. Like, okay, we're gonna be pressing the on button with drugs, I guess. You better prepare yourself. This is gonna be trippy. You're gonna listen to psychedelic music. And that applies, of course, to the music too. You know, I'm feeling like these songs are following a pretty tight formula where basically someone writes a song on an acoustic guitar and they got the vocal melodies there. They bring these songs to a studio and they're like, okay, we got the songs. Let's start layering a bunch of shit on top of it. So they layer down electric guitar, another electric guitar with more effects on it, synths that are fuzzy and trippy, and then we're gonna throw freaking a strings section in there and the freaking bass, and we're gonna throw everything in reverb and delay. It's gonna be all this mushy mess of psychedelia, and it's gonna be panning around the headphones. And frankly, you know, it is headphone candy. You listen to it, there's just so many things in the textures. There's so many textures in the headphone, it sounds great. There's some moments here that are pretty kick-ass, like the ending of Assassins of Youth. It's just like so disorienting, this weird breakdown. And then you got like auto-tune in the mix, which is kind of weird to have in a psychedelic album, but it works, I guess. But honestly, because it's just following this formula of acoustic guitar-driven song with all these different instruments layered on there, and every song is pretty much layering on the same instruments, and the songs are kind of in the same tempo. And all the songs are with lyrics that are about drug use that just sound so juvenile and childish about, I got high, and then I die, and then I got high at the movies. It's just like, okay, it's like these lyrics feel really punched in, feel really, really juvenile. Not great lyrics, not great melodies here either. These songs, because they fade into each other and they all kind of follow the same formula, and the melodies aren't very distinctive. It's like, oh, is this a different song than the song 30 seconds ago? No, it's not. I couldn't tell because it all sounds the same, and it's just so mushy and so much shit layered on top of it with so much reverb. It's cool, but it's just like nonstop, and then it gets so tiring because it's like exhausting. Like, okay, we get the idea. We're doing the same thing here over and over and over again, and yes, thank God there is like the occasional kind of cool trippy thing going on, and the Casey Musgraves features, which is great. But overall, it just feels like what they basically did here was they wrote a bunch of songs that aren't very good, and then they overcompensated for it in the studio by layering a bunch of shit on top of it, which is trippy, and maybe if you're high, you're gonna like it, because this is what it's all about. Psychedelic music is all about getting high. But I'm giving it a 5 out of 10, because I do not see this album as something that really has much... You know, there's not really much reason to return to it when the Flaming Lips already has so many other albums that are accomplishing the same thing, but much better. But I also don't really hate this album because, you know, who doesn't like a little bit of headphone candy getting trippy high? No, it's fine, right in the middle, 5 out of 10. That's all I gotta say, folks. Go ahead and do a little bit of caffeine and pot and see what happens when you listen to this album. It's gonna blow your freaking mind. And thank you for watching, so like, comment, subscribe. Please. Don't tell YouTube I said that. I didn't say anything about drugs. It was Flaming Lips. That's all I gotta say. Punk Revolution now.